Sometimes, it is unavoidable that a game has a bunch of busy work. Things like unloading all of your inventory onto a merchant or going through all of your gear to optimize your character. But one of the most annoying things is when the process isn't streamlined, and the busy work has its own busy work. In this video, we're going to be talking about optimizing a game loop to remove excess busy work. Hey, this is Giggity McD, and you are watching Design Run, a casual series of videos where we talk about the design of one game in particular. And that is because here on the channel, we talk about the ins and outs of game design so that you are equipped to analyze, discuss, and create great games. Swiftly and elegantly murdering thousands of people and their leaders. Welcome to Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate. As part of the Warriors series, your goal as a player is to make your way across the map and slowly turn it from red to blue by killing almost everything you see. In this installment, a Hydra has appeared and it is slowly wiping out all of the heroes in China. Before it's too late, the remaining heroes devise a plan to sneak into the base camp of the Hydra and kill it. The plan doesn't go well, and just as it seems all hope is lost, a mystic known as Kaguya saves the heroes. She tells the heroes that she is able to transport them back in time, so that they may build an army capable of destroying the Hydra. You build your army of heroes from the camp. You use this circle to select stages to return to. You can talk to the Blacksmith to purchase or sell weapons, or upgrade weapons by combining two weapons together. And once unlocked, you can visit the tea house to further relationships between characters you have recruited. The main high-level game loop looks like this. You decide on a stage that you want to complete. We are only talking about the camp in this video, so just quickly, you can prep for the battle and then you can start it. Now you utterly destroy hundreds of people, or demons also in this game, and then yay, victory! There is exactly nothing at all on my conscience. Now, after the battle, you are rewarded with a bunch of stuff. The important stuff here is weapons you may have collected from dead officers, and characters you collect from finishing a story stage. Then it's back to the camp, and this is where the busy work starts. Busy work is when you have small tasks that don't really further the game, but they need to be completed in order to play efficiently, or in order for the game systems to function correctly. Usually this takes the form of returning to merchants to sell off items in order to free up inventory space. Having a drop system in your game is a good way to add content, but this may mean that the player will fill up their inventory space. So the system is well worth adding, but to get it working, we may need to introduce a little bit of busy work. Ideally, we want to keep this at a minimum, so the players can get back to the core game loop. So to prepare for the next battle, we have to go over to the Blacksmith, buy and sell weapons for our current characters, do weapon fusion for our current characters. You then run over to the stage select, decide on what your next battle will be, try to memorize the character names, get out of the stage select screen and go into the start menu, then battle preparations, then change team. You then get this extravagant character select screen. Start selecting your characters from the nested rows of characters, being aware that the portrait here is different from the ones on the stage select screen. Also, there are over 100 characters by the end. Often I forget the names of all three, so I will have to leave this screen, go back into the stage select screen, memorize the character name I forgot, get out of the stage select screen, go back to start, battle preparations, change team, then cycle through to find the characters that are remaining that I haven't picked yet. Okay, phew, team is picked. Now, I have to go back over to the Blacksmith, buy weapons and fuse weapons for the new characters, then I have to run back to the stage select screen and engage in the battle. This happens every time you finish a battle. As I mentioned in the introduction, nobody likes busy work. But sometimes busy work is necessary for all the systems in your game to play nice. So let's see if we can optimize out this loop so that it's faster and needs the player to remember less. There are a lot of things that we can do here. But the way I'm approaching this is, in order to get to the next fight, we have to visit several places multiple times, and we need to remember information between a couple of them. So we want to try and reduce this down to one visit per place. We want to make it so that we don't have to remember things we might need, and we put everything that we regularly need in one place. Ideally, we want to have as little busy work as possible before getting back into the combat, because that is the main attraction of the game. Now, I'm no graphic or UI UX designer, so this is probably going to look like a dog's breakfast, but here we go. What I propose we do is add another menu to one of the buttons. When we press start, this menu pops up, and almost none of the other buttons on the controller do anything, so let's use one of them. I'm playing on Xbone, so let's use the the View button. This menu will have everything we need to prepare for the next fight in one place. I shall name it with much wit and cunning, the Quick Preparation menu. Everything in camp still stays the same, so we can still do anything the old way, just like we normally would. This new menu contains these options. View Stage Select, Unpin Stage, we will get to this, Change Team, Distribute Growth Points, Preparation, or Equip Items. Now we in theory should only have to visit each place once. Let's try it out. We finish a battle and we start here. We press View to bring up our new Quick Prep menu, hit Stage Select. Now each battle in Stage Select has recommended characters that you should use for story reasons, so on this screen we will add an option to pin a stage. This will make it appear on the screen always while in camp. So we decide on a stage and we hit Pin Stage. And the characters appear in the bottom right. Backing out of Stage Select, we can still see the stage and the recommended characters. If we want to get rid of them, we can select Unpin Stage. We don't want to do this, so we will leave them. This is a good opportunity to distribute growth points, and equip items also if you want to. Now we can go over to the Blacksmith. Notice we still see the characters in case you think of something else to do, or get distracted, or also want to visit the tea house. At the Blacksmith, we do the usual buy and sell stuff for the team that just finished the battle. But now, we can see the next set of characters we will be battling with, so we can find them in the name lists and also do weapon prep for them. Everyone is prepped. Alright, so now we can jump out of the Blacksmith, and then we can run over to the Stage Select circle and select our stage. Although you can view the stages from the Quick Prep menu, I like the idea of having to run to the circle in order to actually enter a stage. It acts as a confirmation and maintains the previous thematic link that way, but that's just a personal preference. If you ever want to get rid of the pinned characters, you can pull up the Quick Prep menu and hit Unpin Stage, as I mentioned before. Now, why did I make the changes that I made? I used the idea of surfacing what I regularly use and placing it within short reach. This is why I've made a separate menu with just the things I need to start the next battle. Sure, they are available in this large menu, and this large menu absolutely has to be in the game, but I rarely use 90% of the menu items. That's why adding a second menu seemed logical. I also have tried to give myself a method that means I don't have to remember anything. There are a few places in the preparation routine that require you to know who your team will be or who the previous team was. In this game, you need to remember the characters, so pinning them to the screen while in the camp made sense since you need to know what the characters are on several different screens. Now I can see them when I'm running around, and when I'm in most menus without needing to remember the 3 different names. Pinning things to the HUD is becoming more common in games of late. As examples, in Horizon Zero Dawn you can track resources needed for crafting upgrades, which pins them to the HUD, and in Assassin's Creed you can also pin what is required for an upgrade to the HUD. When you are designing your own game, consider what we have been looking at here. Busywork is a natural byproduct of some systems in games. By identifying places where the player is having to do small tasks that aren't really furthering the core game loop, and reducing the time it takes to do those tasks, you will allow the player to engage in the core game loop more. These are only a few ways to remove busywork though. What other ways can you think of that will reduce busywork? Drop some of them in the comments section. And while you are digging around under the video, why not subscribe to the channel or leave a like on this video? If you enjoy game design, I can guarantee you won't regret it. Because here on the channel, we talk about the ins and outs of game design so that you are equipped to analyze, discuss, and create great games.